Join us as we try something new and a little bit crazy. Camping at Under Canvas Mount Rushmore. When you think of camping near Mount Rushmore, you probably imagine tents, sleeping bags, and roughing it. But what if you're not a camper and your kids want to try camping? What could you do? That's where Under Canvas Mount Rushmore changed everything for us on this trip. Set in the heart of South Dakota's Black Hills and just minutes from Mount Rushmore, Under Canvas offers a glamping experience that even non-campers like us can enjoy. As you may have noticed in the video at the beginning, it could be a little bit confusing as you try to get to Under Canvas Mount Rushmore because you're turning down roads that don't have a ton of signage and some of the signs are fairly small, but we made it up here. Upon arrival, you park near the reception tent and you walk up and check in just like any hotel experience. They have electricity up in this area and they have computers and they check you in and they were totally ready for us. The lobby has a lot of things you'd come to expect at many hotels. They have an area where they demonstrate how to use their equipment, and then they also have a little store area, and we ended up getting our kids some super cute stuff here. They also sell branded merchandise, including things like Lululemon with Under Canvas logos on it. There are places to sit and places to charge everything here because, as you might have guessed, the tents are electricity free. They do have chargers and lanterns that operate on battery in the tents, but you may need to come up here if you use iPads or telephones or things that might need charged more than just a couple of minutes. They have a restaurant in the lodge or lobby area, and they have a walk-up counter where you order, but it does serve cocktails and wine and other drinks in addition to food. They serve breakfast and they serve dinner. They also have some carry-out meals available for lunch. Here you can see the outdoor seating area for the restaurant, and we did have a couple of meals out here because the weather was absolutely fantastic while we were in the Mount Rushmore area. Once you're past that area, you see a deck area, which would be a nice place to hang out regardless of the view. Plenty of seating and places to sit and hang out with your family and friends. But once you get close, you see something kind of a little bit magical. It's hard to appreciate on the phone, but if you zoom in or look with your own eyes, then you can see Mount Rushmore in the distance. What a cool feature of this already pretty cool campsite. You might be asking yourself, what is glamping? It's a term that people throw around quite a bit, and it was new to us, even though we saw quite a few reels and TikToks about it. In our experience, glamping is where you have a tent that has a floor and it has a bed. At Under Canvas, in the tents that we chose, there's also a private bathroom, which we'll show you all of here. In this part of the video, you can see us standing at one of our group's tents to another, so the tents are actually pretty nicely spaced out. But do keep in mind that if you were being loud, like singing loudly, yelling, whether for fun or other reasons, or other personal things that might be happening, there is not a lot of noise cancellation, so be careful about that. Our tent is what is called a suite tent. It has a front porch with a couple of chairs and a place to hold firewood. And then as you walk in, there's a couch on the left. It is a couch bed, and that's where our kids slept. But as you can see, the kids and the adults are in the same space. They did have some tents that had a separate sleeping area for the kids, but it was an actual separate tent. And so as non-campers, and our kids are non-campers, we did not feel comfortable with that sort of experience for them, so we all shared a space. On the side table, there's a battery-operated lantern and a fan on each side of the bed. Plus, they gave us 3 portable chargers that could charge those pieces of equipment. And they told us that they probably weren't adequate for charging phones, but I'm not going to lie to you and tell you we didn't charge our phones on them. They also were willing to trade those out. Each room also has a stove and firewood, and in the lobby, they demonstrate to you how to build a fire if you're not familiar. And then the private bathroom, meaning private to only in this tent, is in this area. As you can see, there's no ceiling and the walls are made of canvas, so it's not super private to the other people inside of your tent. So we would recommend that you only stay with people that you really like and you want to be cozy with. Here is a non-suite tent, so it does not include the couch bed for the kids, but it has a lot of the other same amenities as the suite tent has, including the separate and private bathroom. One of my favorite things about the Under Canvas was that the beds were actually very luxurious and very comfortable. So don't be afraid that it's kind of not a nice bed, super comfortable bed. And then also it was very clean. So even walking around the floor in our bare feet, your feet didn't get dirty or things like that. So the whole experience was very luxurious for camping. Go.
It's Rosie fishing!
We did get to experience breakfast up at the lodge tent, and it was delicious. It was not low cost, but it was amazing, and the ambiance and experience were super fun in and of themselves. Then we headed out to the main attraction.
Finally, we're at Mount Rushmore.
See?
Yeah, now.
We had made it to what Benny calls Mountain Rushmore. I also included some of my live review that I did at Under Canvas. Day 2, we survived. We spent the night in the tent. Midway through the night, I wasn't sure that I was going to spend the night in the tent because it's very quiet and I'm easily startled. But we made it. The bed was super comfortable. The kids slept amazing. Ben slept amazing. This morning we had breakfast here. It was wonderful. We were able to text them up front and have them come and bring us extra towels, and then they replaced our chargers. I don't know if I mentioned yesterday, they have portable chargers since there's no electricity, that we could charge the fans that are in the room and we could charge our phones. And then of course they have electricity at the tent lobby lodge thing, so we can charge our stuff up there. So stay tuned for night 2. So there you have it. Even though we were excited for the experience, I was very terrified because I'm kind of afraid of everything. But we survived the night, and the second night went amazing as well. That evening we got to have dinner at the restaurant at Under Canvas as well, because we had big plans to spend time around the campfire and just enjoying each other's company before we headed home from our trip. The food for dinner was also great, even though, as I mentioned, maybe not a great price. Plus, we got to enjoy some live music with the ambiance.
Younger than the mountains,
moving like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place. Been home yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place. I belong, West Virginia.
It wouldn't be camping without the campfire experience, and it's cool to know that s'mores kits are included in the cost of your Under Canvas stay. If you follow our channel, you may notice that we tend to travel on the fairly luxurious side. This experience at Under Canvas was one our kids had been wanting to try, and we were willing to give it a try for them. Overall, as far as the camping experience was, it was very luxurious. The beds were comfortable, it felt very safe, the whole grounds were wonderful and fun, and we had a ton of fun just enjoying each other and spending time as a family on this great vacation. If you have any interest in booking a trip out to South Dakota, out west, or literally anywhere, we're travel agents who never charge a fee, and we're part of a Forbes rated host agency, so we have access to some of the best rates and benefits rates. We're experts in luxury, but as you can see, we're willing to try just about anything to have a great time. Contact us for your travel needs, and don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Stay tuned because we have lots of other great videos of our travels from this summer and plenty upcoming for the fall and winter season.